This is lesson 13, converting fractions to decimals. Now this one we have a bit more work to do than decimals to fractions. So first let's take the easy part first. So how do I say this? 22 over 1,000, or 22 thousandths. So if my denominator is 10, 100, 1,000, it's pretty straightforward. Okay, how many zeros are here? There's 3. So that tells me I need 3 numbers to the right of the decimal point. So I've got to write 22 using 3 numbers. So 0, 2, 2. Now, you can put a 0 here, you can leave nothing there, it's the same thing. So I've got 22 thousandths. Okay, so we'll give the video a pause. I want you to try to write 375 thousandths. Right, so you have decimal point 375. Okay, there are 3 zeros, so that tells me I need 3 numbers to the right of the decimal point, and my numerator is 375. So how do I write 375 using 3 numbers? Well, 375. Okay, look up here and that correlate. This goes along with it. One place value to the right is the tenths, then the hundredths, then the thousandths. Okay. All right, so let's get a little bit more complicated here. Okay, so we have a couple different terms. Terminating decimal. Okay, terminating means to give you a second to think about it. If something is terminated, it stops. Okay? So here I have 17 divided by 40. Now when I'm making fractions into decimals, my rule of thumb is always put 4 zeros. Because after 4 zeros, I can tell if it stops, if it repeats, or if it goes on forever and ever and ever. Now, just to double check, 14 or 17/40 is less than 1. Okay, so that my answer is less than 1 because it's 0. So now I just divide. Bring down the 0. Bring down my other 0. You notice how I'm keeping everything nice, neat, and lined up. Okay, this helps with the division so you don't get things confused. So 17 over 40 is 425 thousandths. Now 20/40 is 5/10ths, so that kind of can give you a benchmark to see if you're right. Okay, so give the video a pause, and I want you to try 51/25. Okay, this is greater than 1, so make sure your answer is greater than 1. So I came up with 2 and 400ths. Now you'll notice one thing. I did not use these zeros, nor did I use this 0. That's okay. Just get rid of them. It's okay to have them there and not use them. Okay. So that is a terminating decimal. So let's try another terminating decimal. 51 divided by 50. So 1, forgot my decimal point, 4 zeros. 0, bring down the 0, 2. That's it. Okay. Now, repeating decimal. Okay, as many of you have seen with Sandlot, a repeating decimal goes on forever. Okay, it never stops. It does the same thing over and over again, whether it's 1 number, whether it's 2 number, or whether it's 3 number. Hopefully you all caught that I started writing that backwards. Okay, so it's 27 divided by 11. Again, I'm adding my 4 zeros. So this is 2 22. A decimal point up there. 4. Bring down the 0. Hopefully you're starting to see the pattern here. Bring down my 0. So what I see is that 4 times 11 is going to give me 44. 50 minus 44 is always going to give me a 6. It's always going to be 5, so it's the same thing. 50 minus 44, 50 minus 44, 50 minus, or 60 minus 55, 60 minus 55. So here's how I write that. It is 2 decimal point 45 with a bar over the 45. So the bar tells me what repeats. And the bar tells me what repeats. So I only put a bar over what repeats. Okay. Notice there's no bar over the 2 because the 2 doesn't repeat. Okay. So I want you to give the video a pause. I want you to try. Remember, this one's terminating, so it stops. And then these 2 repeat. Okay, so try these 3, and let's see what you get. So here's what I came up with. 37 40ths equals 925 thousandths. 17 sixths equals 2. And decimal point 83, the 3 being repeated. You notice I didn't read that the way you'd normally read a decimal because repeating. Also, you'll notice what repeats? Just the 3. So there's a bar over just the 3. Okay. And then 38 over 11 is decimal or 3 and 45 repeated. Now you'll notice with my division, I stopped after the first round. That's because it looked exactly the same as this. So if I already know what's going to happen, I don't need to do the extra work. All right, so here's your stamp page for tomorrow. We've got some some repeating decimals, some terminating decimals, and then we'll go from there. So enjoy your evening, and we'll see you tomorrow.